and welcome to the bridge. What's up, ladies and gentlefolk? Hello and welcome back once again to Fabula Ultima Empyrean Hearts. Today's episode is going to be a little different than normal. We are missing players. We've been having players, unfortunately, on and off the last couple of weeks, which is why we haven't been able to get a proper session in. But I think I've come up with a decent alternative to cancelization. Today will be the first test of our solo. So I'm looking to see if we can't run some adventures specifically about the backgrounds and histories of the different characters of the members of Empyrean Heart. Today's episode focusing on Proxiya Apollon, our deserter of Count Trifolk's forces and the friend and companion to the strange robotic creature known as Zeus. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Say hello to our players. Say hello to everyone doing things, and we will begin our adventure through history. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully, it's a good test. All right. Hello, hello, hello. It's good to have you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Good to have you. So yes, today's episode, as I said, is going to be focused on Planchette and her character, Proxiya. Though I have not disallowed the other players from coming hanging out. They have nothing better to do, so both Kaiser and Cipriality are here to simply enjoy. So I'm going to go do the usual spiel. We're going to go ahead and say hello, say who you are, introduce yourselves, who you're playing, and what you're doing. So going down the list here, Kaiser, who you playing, and what do you do?
Hey, I'm Sarcastic Kaiser. Normally I'm playing Lord Borrington, though currently he doesn't exist in this flashback TM, so it's fine. But yeah, Borrington is typically the party's tank and whatnot, and semi-comedy character, but don't worry about it, it's fine.
Yeah. And yes, Borrington and Ashling are not in this adventure, but in future side quests, future side stories, maybe. Party of 2 or 3 off doing something. Who knows? Who knows? Slip, please introduce yourself, who you are, who you playing, and what do you do?
Hello, I'm Slipped Reality. I play Ashling. She is what I have been affectionately calling essentially the bard of the group. She is the chronicler of the bazaar. I currently am studying blood bank. Don't know if that's what you meant, but
Sure, but what you're currently doing, that's fine with me. Yeah, like I tend to never specify.
I am here to listen and to Proxia's backstory. I'm excited to learn more.
Yeah, and then the ever titular, the star of the show today, Planchette. Who are you? Who are you playing, and what do you do?
Hi, I am Planchette Ghost, and I'm playing Proxiya Apollon, a girl on the run with a mech. She definitely didn't steal. And today I'm gonna be going back in time a little bit, so we're gonna have an interesting little blast from the past here.
Yeah. So as I said, today's focus will be on Proxia Apollo history. We'll go ahead and get started here. Hold on. Sorry. I always forget to introduce myself. If you're here, I assume you kind of know who I am, but I guess maybe not. Hi,
Who are you?
my name is CrazyHippie69. I am a variety caster here on Twitch, as well as a TTRPG game master on YouTube. Um, Most of my YouTube content is focused entirely on TTRPGs and the different stories and worlds I've gotten to tell for different groups of people throughout these last few years. And on Twitch, I am a variety streamer. I play all kinds of games and things and stuff, including running these TTRPG adventures. Today we're running Fabula Ultima, a TTJRPG focused around the themes of more anime style, kind of Final Fantasy or Chrono Trigger-esque adventures, more fantastical, but also a little bit more focused on what it's doing. So,
I guess it would help if I unmuted my mic in stream too, and not just in Discord, probably.
that is
And
fair.
I'm sure that
that's fair.
helps. If it reads my mic, will it work? No? It'll work everywhere else. Oh, I see.
What is working?
Am I here now? I am here now. Okay. Well, it would help if it was unmuted and not set to a fake mic that doesn't exist. So.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Let me go ahead and do the other thing that I forgot to start up earlier. Into all a might stream together there.
I made it big. I'm streaming with someone else. It's crazy.
Oh, crazy. Going to start the shared chat and you guys. Alright, so
This real quick.
Proxiya. Today is a day like many other that you've been through. In the few years you've been in service in the city of Anaris, you've been growing in rank quickly. Even amongst your militarized family, you've grown to popularity, fame, even amongst your fellow soldiers faster than most of your family has. You currently stand in a line of amongst fellow officers and other soldiers behind you. It's a cloudy day over the city of Brass. The gleaming, towering walls of reflective bronze and copper are showing their much duller side as you are waiting today's orders. Your superior officer, Ansgar Wesser, is back and forth on a small platform in front of you and the fellow soldiers behind you, barking and going about a spiel of loyalty to the city and the greatness that Anaris is, and that it is your duty to stand firm and hold back those that would sully the nature of its people, the greatness of its leader, and endanger the populace around. Ansgar is a very devout man. Tall, thick-skinned, rugged. If you ever have a conversation with him, he will not fail to inform you that he has served this city and its people for years. His family has generations and statues within the halls of heroes and placards and awards presented by Count Driffolk and even lords and counts before him. But that means little to you, as glancing to your side, your smiling older brother Vahi winks to you, knowing that today is going to be another bland and boring day like many others. City of Inares. You can see the tiredness in Vahi's eyes, though, even with his bright and shimmering glow. Recent times, he's grown tired, weary of the duties you are presented and the tasks that keep being put on you, and in turn, him. The recent unrest in Inares, city of brass, has grown even greater. Since the time in which the unfortunate death of of the middle brother, Thaddeus, things have only gotten worse. Count Drifolk and his arrangements have been oppressive, denying the people many rights that they would normally have. You've been recently forced to separate families, take homes and land away from the people, and though it is your duty, even in the back of your mind, you feel this may not be the right thing to be doing. But with a simple shake of your head, you let that thought pass. Your orders today. Ansgard turns to you, staring at you from the top of the pedestal. Chief Sergeant Proxiya. Stand at attention.
I stand very suddenly. I didn't realize I was slouchy, and the weight of the day has made me slouch more.
Ansgar points his it's not really a walking stick. He has no issues walking, but he has this obnoxious staff he always roams around with that he uses to point at people with an air of authority far above his station. You're to take your troops today on patrol out into the lands, visit several of the villages. It is time for tithe to be brought in. You've been successful in your recent days, and the Count is looking upon you for even greater services. So, do not disappoint him, nor I, in your duties. You understand?
I understand.
He looks at you and your minorly lackluster response. Officer Apollon, I said, do you understand?
Sir, yes, sir, I understand.
Good.
I kind of shake myself a little bit.
He nods and shifts over to the side, addressing none of the officers. As he does, he steps over to you, nudges you. Sister, you okay? Vahi is an interesting member of your family, not born of your mother and father like your other 4 elder siblings. Vahi was found on the street shortly before your birth. He's but a few months older than you, his skin darker in tone, his frame a bit slimmer. He lacks any real talent, unfortunately, though he does have a minor attunement to the magics around you, and he fits in well along your side. He's always been following around, though he's older than you by a few months. He kind of trails you like a lost puppy.
These days are getting longer. I'd swear, with all the back and forth. There are things I probably shouldn't say out loud here, but it's definitely wearing on me.
I can see it in your eyes, sister. It's not often you're so far away. Um, at least today's duty should be light. The travel time should give you plenty of ability to rest and hopefully think through a couple of things in your head. If you need anything, you know I'm always here to listen to you, sister.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. One of these days we'll be able to rest a little bit, hopefully, and just sit by the fire and talk about how things used to be.
Yes, back when things weren't quite so complicated. I miss tilling the fields with father. Even his nagging words are a bit more tolerable than, well, Besser's.
Yeah, I'm kind of starting to miss some of that labor too.
I miss watching our brothers. As rowdy as they were, they always knew what to get done and when to do it. Berrig and his ability to wrestle those cows into place, and he always was the strongest, boldest. I think he's off somewhere. I shouldn't be bringing up such dour moods. Let's ready the rest of the troops and be on our way before Vesser gives us another scolding.
Yeah, I hear you on that one.
He turns towards the 10 soldiers who currently under your direct orders. This is a ragtag group of town guard and volunteers and maybe even some conscripts who have been put under your direct command as at this point, junior officer amongst the others, other ranks. You have some semblance of authority and power, though many of the higher officers refuse to give you the time of day for any real authority, keeping you at your post as they seem to be doing, denying you any potential glory or further rise in popularity. One of them steps forward and salutes. You know this man as Meek, and, well, his name matches his stature, standing as simply 5'4", thin. His armor outweighs him, you would assume. His sword is slightly too big. The chainmail beneath his plate is unfitting. You hear it rattle around against his small frame. Always has a good, hefty smile upon his face, though. Comes from a baker's family, you think. Something like that. And it's always nice to have him around, because his parents always sent him with fresh bread in the morning. Today, though, you see his satchel is not as full as normal. Times are getting harder, so. Ma'am, we are to patrol the outer villages, are we not? I ask, could we potentially swing by, Swiftmouth? I have a friend out there to deliver a letter to. It's within the, the notated villages for tithe collection in this day. So it wouldn't be out of our way.
Well, let's say maybe. If we can fit it in, absolutely. But you know how tight things have been lately. We have a lot of ground to cover these days.
Of course, yes. Just a simple request, ma'am.
Don't
Swiftmouth.
get your hopes up, but we'll try. We'll try.
Swiftmouth is a village that you do know of. It is a little out of the way in terms of the normal tithe collection. It's usually hit by one of the ranger teams rather than the actual collection forces. It's almost a day's travel towards the salt flats. Its main issue is that due to its relative closeness to the flats, it does have a uh, higher abundance of monsters and creatures patrolling around that make it a little bit more obnoxious to navigate towards. Um, Outside of that, the village of Lime Maya and Ambershire are on the list of visitations and within your area of patrol. All these villages are small. Uh, you've you've dealt with the people these villages before, and you know that this is not going to be the most agreeable situation. Tithes are generally paid in money and goods, but when villages can't com- complete these tithes and simple production, Count Driffolk has ordered for the taking and seizing of living assets. Any debt will be paid in life and duty. And you've only had to take and separate a family here or there, but each time it is scarring. You can remember their faces, small boys, girls, ripped from the arms of their mothers and fathers. Simply hope today is not another one of those days.
And I will prepare to head out. What's the season? What season are
Um,
we in right now?
it is mid-fall. The summer leaves are slowly fading to bright oranges and reds. The local slimes, the honeydew slimes, have begun their growth cycles where they will combine and meld into larger beings. You've done a few slime purges in your life. They're simple, but they can get obnoxious. Slimes can be a little aggressive once they've formed together into their larger uh, colonies, as they've been referred to. Outside of that, the usual uh, monster life still tends to take a wide berth around the city of Anares and the surrounding villages. Most monsters are at least intelligent enough to avoid human contact during their hunts. Though you do know the uh, wolves of these lands like to uh, test the boundaries of man.
Um, I guess the other question is how do we typically travel? And kind of assume it'd be a mix of probably horses and mechanical
Uh, yeah,
like carts and stuff since Count Trifolca's likes his mechs.
yeah. I mean, so again, with these stories, things you feel should be interjected or added in, or you think just feels right, is entirely up to you. So yes, if you feel like the city of Anara is a place of invention and technological advancement, should have such manners of travel, then 100%, yeah. Mechanical carriage
Yeah.
is easily a means of transportation here.
Yeah, I think maybe something kind of in between a like a horse-drawn cart and like a car, not quite car looking, but something along those lines of some mechanical things that help move supplies more move more people. Um, Definitely more on the innovative side of things for the country. And then I would probably still prefer like using a horse at this time. because I would have had a horse on the farm. So
Mhm.
I think the horse would probably be just one of the horses that I've helped train over the years, and it's gonna be the horse that I'll probably keep up with. And so I think I'll go with that for now.
Okay.
And then so I'll be getting my horse ready and my supplies ready for the traveling, and kind of getting everyone else situated, making sure everyone's getting ready as well and staying on time and on task. So if someone is like, if there's too many people like, joking around, I'll go over there and tell them to get their stuff together and stop messing around.
Okay. Yeah.
How many people would be on um on this group, on this squad?
In your squad is a total of 12 people. You,
12? Okay.
your brother Vahi, and the 10 soldiers who lie under your command.
Okay.
Uh,
Let me figure out this journal entry situation here, and I'll
yeah.
make sure I'm taking my notes again.
Yeah. People of note amongst your squad, obviously Meek, amongst his stature, does have a good bit of connection with his family's bakery being a small center point for the for what is essentially the slums of Inares. The family has a lot of connections, and you can get a lot of gossip while relaxing inside the bakery and the connected miniature cafe. Outside of that is the beast folk known as John, a wolf man from far as you can tell, master hunter, but with his beastkin uh, heritage, he's been denied any growth, or any of his achievements have generally been looked over and given to officers of greater note. He is quiet and scowling, but he follows orders, and if there's anyone you need found, Jan is the one to send. Next is Leopold, large man, burly, uh, kind of the opposite of Meek. Barely fits in his armor because he's too big. He's still growing. Uh, Eats like a pack of stone bears off the mountains, and capable of lifting one if he really needed to. He is brash, forward, blunt like the hammer he wields. A bruiser, if nothing else, and if you need to get in someplace, Leopold will get in without an issue. Last is Carton, kind lady. It is the squad's combat healer. She is adept in wind magic and minor fire spells, alongside a series of alchemical agents that she has begun to learn in the after the orders of Count Drifolk has nearly banned the use of magic within the city walls. And of course,
Okay.
there's Vahi.
Does Vahi have any current specialties?
Um, Vahi's only really become a lesser officer because of your status. Um, Vahi has no real major talents in their uh, arsenal. Again, they are magically inclined, but being adopted, and after the incident with Thaddeus, your parents never sent Vahi off to school for magically gifted children. They have simply developed normally alongside you. They lack any specialized strength. They're good enough with a blade. Um, though they are a relatively decent shot with a bow, that is unfortunately not standard issue among your squad. Um, you should know that Vahi is a half elf or the descendant of one. You're not quite sure, with them being found and simply adopted. Um, any actual familiar history is unknown to you, your family line, or anything. It's just minor elven uh, structure and qualities that Vahi has that tends to lead towards this general idea. So, you and your squad load up. Vahi mounts alongside you on another horse, preferring, as you do, the more natural connection to the world below and around. Um, while the 10 members of your squad pile into one of the what is referred to as chem tech. It's Count Driffolk's recent inventions to an attempt to overpower and outthrow Magitech. The Chemtech wagon rumbles to life. The sickly green and purple smoke sludge that it produces as it rumbles into action spews into the air and slowly peels forward. Most people outside of Anars would look upon the glistening city and see the beautiful bronzes and coppers that cover the towers and shine with the light. Though, with your life within the city walls, and people who live here know that most of that glimmer comes from this chemical smudge that has eroded and coated the walls of the city, leaving an oily film just about everywhere you go. The slums are hardly livable, where the smog is heaviest, it drifts low and poisons the air. The lower parts of these slums, you need masks and protective gear to properly travel through without any permanent damage to your lungs and frame. Even then, it is a risk. The This unfortunately has also allowed for the growth of several small monster tribes within the city beneath the walls and whatnot. Goblins sneaking in, uh, corrupted slimes on occasion, and even the occasional larger creature or pack of wolves have snuck in or grown, as far as you can tell. Other parts of the city are well off. The marketplaces and such are kept clean. The guards' barracks and things are all kept under, well, relative control, though the streets are more abuzz lately. People are tired of Count Driffolk, his lack of control and his need to advance his own personal agendas at the detriment of the people below him. Riots have broken out. Anger amongst the people. These are the very reasons why your brother Thaddeus lays buried at your family farm. The first of the riots took his life, and your mother now fears for the rest of her children.
Just a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
The first two squad members you mentioned by name, what were their names again? Just the
Meek,
Beastkin and then the Meek.
Meik, and Jan, Jann.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Um, yeah. So your squad ventures off. The cobblestone making clacking noises beneath the hooves of your horses and the wheels of the Chemtech cart as you peel out towards the directions of towns and villages that lay outside of Inares. Which town do you wish to visit first? Swiftmouth hangs just inside the borders of the salt flats, the furthest out and hardest to achieve any real goal from. But as Meek said, the people might be a little bit more uh, giving out there with the lack of recent tithing. They are probably a bit more well off, though again, the people are in a dangerous place, so who knows? Besides that lies Ambershire and Limemire, barely villages in their own right. Family farm lays within Ambershire to the north. Just a short ride outside of Inares. Um, you've probably gone out of your way to avoid pulling tithes from there, since you would know the people and the neighbors. Um, Outside of that, Limemire rests between along the roads between Anares and Ostelhelm, the magical city, to the east. East? West. West.
One of those.
West.
Oh, wait.
Um,
Okay.
Yeah.
I will direct us towards the first one that you mentioned.
Swiftmouth?
Yeah.
Okay. Journey to Swiftmouth. Some of the other soldiers are a little nervous venturing out there. The wolf packs and creatures are far less tame. They're more willing to attack the average merchant or passerby. And it will be a bit more of a struggle if you wish to go straight there. You can attempt to go around on some of those scouted, more abandoned roads, but it would add time to your journey, and the Count does not like time being wasted.
Yeah, we would take the more direct route then. We're probably pretty used to having to fight things off. So I'd say we'll go the direct route.
All right. You take the direct route, following the main road from Inares to Swiftmouth. You venture. The day goes by pretty dry, boring. Again, the overcast skies overhead lead to a very dreary morning and mid-afternoon. Mid-journey, Vahi begins a light bit of singing to bring some kind of small hope to the troops and to ease the nerves of the others.
I would say that Proxy would probably hum along or kind of be involved in it a little bit, maybe not uh, super obviously so, because she's supposed to set the example and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, um, yeah, we
Okay.
continue on.
Yeah, you hum along. Occasionally, you hear a carton whistling inside of the cart alongside Vahi's singing. After a few hours, it's begun to lean shortly into the afternoon, probably an hour past noon. You finally see the beginnings of the salt flats and the rough, dry ground that lays ahead of you. Roads here are basically worn to nothing, so further travel is done by proper mapping and navigation from the markings of the road beforehand. Swiftmouth should only be another half hour ahead of you. As you plot and plan the route properly, Jean puts a hand on your shoulder. a low growl in his voice. Ma'am, we are being followed. Points to the north. You can barely make out the small shifting frame of some sort of beast low prowling on the ground. You can just catch the glimmer of its eyes, dull yellow, reflecting and flickering through this occasional puff of dry dirt.
Hmm. And how far away does it look again?
It's about 50 meters out. It's slow, it's monitoring. It hasn't quite made it, seems to not have quite made its decision on whether it wants to uh, take this prey, you, or if it wishes to find something a little bit easier.
Um, okay. Um, I just kind of sigh, because I was hoping that this trip would be more direct, and don't want to have to stop and deal with any creatures or people or anything other than what we came here to do. So it'll be like I just kind of like grumble a little bit, and I say just to keep an eye on it. Um, uh, see if it decides to get closer. And if it does, then we're gonna have to probably settle down and uh, ready to fight it. But I want to keep this going as fast as we can. If we're able to um, cut off some time for any of this traveling, we might be able to make that detour. Um, but otherwise, I think I just want to move on. And I say all that.
Jan nods. I'm not sure how well we can avoid such a beast in our travels, but maybe once we get to town, it might find it's less appealing to assail so many people at once.
True. That's definitely possible.
We could push the cart a bit harder. There is risk of burning it out in the travel, but I think that is a better risk taken than fighting whatever that is.
Yeah, it's it's frustrating having to try and meet these deadlines uh, without without the best support here, but we'll try. I think let's try and make it to the town, and hopefully we'll be able to just keep on going. Hopefully the town will be easy too. Maybe we can get a snack or some rest, but I just want to be done with the day.
He trots his horse over to you. Sister, is there something amiss? Jan, do you smell something? Jan nods and relays to Vahi what he had just told you. Vahi looks to you. It is a risk, sister. We lose the cart, we'll be walking back. And if we have to bring any extra tithe with us, it'll be a struggle. On top of that, if whatever is stalking us is bold enough to assail a village, then we'd be endangering the people.
Possibly. Um, well, I'd still like to try and get as close to town as we can. I, we could also try setting up an ambush. I don't know how well that would work with the limited resources we have. and just prepare for the fight. That might go faster than trying to deal with it at the town, but
Whatever you think is best, Proxiya. You are always right in these matters, so I'll follow suit as normal.
thank you.
He turns to the guard. Meek, get extra chems into the engine. We're going to be burning it. Burn it hot. Meek nods and crawls over the back of the cart, dumping some additional chems into the chem tank engine. It rumbles and spurts and spews a thicker sludge. You actually see bits of oily, foul liquid drip down the exhaust pipes and onto the ground, where it kind of sizzles and undulates before it sinks into the salt flats.
I just kind of make a nose at it. I'm not very fond of the tech at all. It's messy.
Yeah, it is a messy tech. There's a reason why it has not surpassed Magitech in the slightest. It might perform similar to the same duties, but it's always at a much more steeper cost. Instead of someone's natural ability to control the elements, it is forced and conjured and churned and corrupted in its nature to pull what Magitech can easily bring out of thin air. But it's what you're provided with. Again, magic is nearly banned in an RS. Count Driftfolk finds it at the best of times annoying. At the worst, he's liable to hang you.
I turn to Jan and I basically say, well, let's keep on moving. Let's see if we can get to town and shake the tail we have, and if not, then prepare to stop and fight. I'd like to just try and reach our destination here, but if it does decide to pick up speed on us, then we might have to deal with it sooner rather than later.
There. Ma'am. If needed, I could go ahead. I am faster than the group, as you know. I can see if things are alright in the village. Or if needed, I can see if I can pull the beast away.
How about go ahead to the village, and see, possibly they might have some able-bodied men they could offer to help, if the beast does get too close to us. And then if needed, we can request assistance. But otherwise, just kind of maybe prepare them for the potentiality.
Jan nods. As he steps forward, Leopold stands up from the driving seat of the cart, flips a box open, and grabs something, throwing it to Jan. You're going to need this, just in case. You notice it is one of the signal flares that is provided in case of emergency. Jan nods before dropping to all fours and, in a much wolf-like manner, sprinting off into the desert, into the salt flats towards Swiftmouth. With that, the cart rumbles forward, and your group, your soldiers, and you venture towards Swiftmouth. He pulls his horse closer to you. I don't want to jinx anything, sister, but I am getting a bad feeling about this. No normal beast should be hunting a pack of 10 armed people. The magic monsters out here should know better. And there was no guide at the nav point. There should have been a guide.
Yeah, fair. Definitely fair. These days, I don't have a lot of good feelings about anything, but the best we can do is continue towards our destination. Um, I don't really want to fight anything out here, uh, but if we have to, then we will stop and we will deal with this, hopefully, to the best that we can. We're always low on supplies these days, and I can't imagine the town is much better. And we're gonna probably leave them in a little bit worse state on top of it. So, you know, I'm just hoping for the best out of whatever this situation is.
I follow in your footsteps, sister. What you do in... There must be some right in it. Vahi, look of concern and sadness in his eyes, turns back to his side of the escorting the cart and continues to kind of trot along. With the cart in full burn, it's loud and cacophonous. The ride is bumpy and horrible. You can hear the frame of the cart creaking and rumbling and rattling as it hits rock in a crevice, traveling over the salt flats. The roads are barely there. They are simply paths that are more used than any other. But you do see Swiftmouth in the distance finally. The buildings rise over the small hill, rooftops. No more than maybe 40 buildings at most. Made of a dull brown clay, similar to the salt flats themselves, as they are simply molded from mud and dirt that are found here. It's the simplest and most abundant material for building. Leaves the houses fairly sturdy, resilient to the winds and blazing heat out here in the salt flats. Though they are a bit, they do succumb a bit to the occasional salty rainstorm that comes in from the ocean side that douses these lands and the salts that they are formed from. Though it is concerning as you get a closer look, and those sturdy buildings strong enough to resist the winds and storms of this area are crumbled. Not shortly after, you notice the first building has gashes in its roof and walls caved in. Off in the distance, a bright red flare flies up from the town. It's Yon's signal.
Well, looks like we've got a problem on our hands. I kind of I start slowing the group down a little bit as much as I can with the Chemtech. And then I will just kind of start preparing everyone as we get closer to the town.
You begin to slow down. Vahi glances at you and Carton peeking out from the side of the cart door points towards a flare. Should we not be speeding up, ma'am? Jan might be in danger.
I want to get a handle of this situation as we move into it. Um, I think we'll keep this pace that we've got now and start moving towards him, but keep an eye out because this area does not look good. Um, I don't know what has happened here, but this does not seem like a good place to be right now.
Carton looks at you, an eye of doubt crossed her face. Her face twists and forms into a scowl. Man, we can't leave Jan to deal with whatever it is alone. Those flares are not something to. Damn it. Meek, we're going in faster. Grabs Meek by the collar and drags him from the cart before she begins to break out into a sprint. What do you do? You have options. You could force her to stop, order her to stand down and listen. You can choose to let her go. Or you can follow suit and rush in alongside her.
That's a good question. Given the severity of how damaged everything is, it's definitely not a typical situation. So I'm not going to stop her. We do still have a whole group of people that we have to continue to travel with here. And if our Kimtech goes out on us because we're trying to get everywhere faster, then we won't have a way to get out later either. So I'm just gonna tell everyone to hold pace and that we're gonna follow them.
Leopold looks concerned. You can hear the mutters of a couple of the other soldiers from the back of the cart, but they keep the pace you've set. Knowledge saves lives. Panicking will only get more people hurt. And as you said, you don't know what's going on ahead of you. It could simply be that a recent rainstorm left the buildings weak enough. Maybe Jan didn't mean to fire off the flare. As you draw,
Can always be hopeful.
as you draw closer, you can feel something in the air, mixed with the sand and the dirt and the salt and the heat. There's a chill. There's magic. Jan is not magically adept, neither is Meek, and Carton is adept with fire and healing. You would have seen it a long time ago. There should be no cold in the salt flats.
Kind of warn everyone as we're getting closer, and I warn everyone to keep an eye out because there's magic and being used in this place.
You finally make it to the edge of town, and you can see the destruction here. It is no storm, not anything natural. There is frost, frozen bodies, burnt and scorched walls, small smolders of some sort of foul, black poison seeping through the ground. You see village people crumpled to the side of the road, marred and broken by tooth and claw. And then you finally hear it, a deep, low howl. Not one, not two, but three. Finally round the corner into the town square. You see it. Creature. Not horribly large, but large enough, maybe twice the size of the cart in length. Just big enough to be a danger to anyone coming near. Jan is currently dashing to and fro, his twin blades scratching against the creature's legs and sides. The monster turns to you, all three of its heads. A Kerberos, an elemental monstrosity known for its lone wolf hunting, though it tends to surround itself by wolf packs. It shouldn't be here. It should be deeper into into the salt flats. The fact it's made its way out to the edge means something has disturbed its normal hunting grounds. It should not be hunting people, it should be hunting other beasts, a larger, more tasteful, gamey. But it's here, and it's wreaking its havoc. You can see whatever resistance the town tried to put up spewing across the ground, guards torn asunder, spears, swords shattered, burnt, melted, frozen solid. You see under one of its paws a small, unfortunate broken form, not quite fast enough, never quite strong enough. It's Meek. He's not moving. Carton has taken cover beside one of the buildings. She's healing what you can see might be some village elder of some kind. She keeps glancing over to Meek's dead form. You can see panic in her eyes. She's struggling to cast her spells. You hear Leopold bellow after the cart, barely bringing it to a halt as the rest of the troops begin to unload. What do you do?
I basically just order everyone into a loose formation, probably something that we've done before for other uh fighting situations, hunting situations. Maybe not something quite like this, but I try to get everyone to um, kind of keep goals in mind so that we don't have a lot of weak points, because there's still that strange monster that's following us as well that we don't have sight on right now, and so we have to deal with this situation currently. And so I will kind of direct everyone to some of their stronger abilities. So whoever is like better on the like defensive flank side of things, then I'd like to keep them there, and then I'd like to move as a group into the fight with the Kerberos. And then I basically order everyone into those positions in order to move forward once they reach those.
You order your troops into a formation. Uh, at this point, 9 is not much of a formation, but spears are brought forward, shields are raised, and they are ordered into a line, defensive, capable of stopping, well, delaying such a creature. It bellows and spews fire in the direction of a building. One of the other heads howls and the ground freezes in front of it. Yon barely dodges out of the way as it slams its claws down. He was just standing, shattering and sending stone and salt and dirt into the air. Yon looks to you. You can see the feralness of his beastkin nature in his eyes, fury, rage, control. This is where he thrives, the battlefield. His senses are at their peak. What are your orders? Your troops wait.
Well, we've got some people here, so we're gonna have to deal with the Kerberos and try and kill it at this point, so that we can survive this encounter, and so we can try and help whoever might be left here. And so we'll move forward to attack.
You charge 4. So, charging forth into the fray. To you and your troops, Bahi. Give me a might dex check as
My
you
dex.
charge forward and fight the beast, doing your best to keep yourself safe, keep your men in order.
Okay, let's see. Dex. Okay, is that a normal or hard difficulty?
Normal.
Okay.
Um, eh, so, because this is a narrative event, uh, and these stories have really little consequence to the proper timeline of things, I will allow you, you can accept the failure of your role, or you may spend a Fabula point to succeed.
Okay. Ooh. You know, I'm gonna spend a Fabula point to succeed that one.
Okay. So, you, well, I guess I should say, what do you do? What do you order your troops? Uh, how do you command them?
I'm sorry,
Um,
what'd you say?
I said, what do you do? What are the orders you give your troops as they charge forward? Weapons at the ready. How do you command them and instruct them?
I speak pretty loudly, but not super rushed. I try to stay as controlled as possible. And then I'm just like, we are going to fight this Kerberos, and we're going to end its terror here on Swiftmouth, and we are going to um, we're going to press forward and um, keep our formation as much as possible. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, the five spears at the front are slowly marched forward, raised about chest high with the beast as best they can. Um, as it lunges forward and strikes into the group. The defensive line holds fairly well. A spear breaks. A soldier is knocked aside. Leopold uh, dashes forward, slamming his hammer into the center head, causing the Gibber Bruce to recoil and pull back. Its other heads look around. A burst of ice is merely dodged by Jan and another soldier. Um, as fire spews the other side, cutting off your vision of Carten and any escape off to your west. Um, the
Um,
situation. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'd like to assess any weak points it might have, and
Um,
try and address the group to try and go for any weak points I might see.
you can see there is a wound on its side. Jan has been attempting to stab and cut at it best he can, but the creature has been keeping its side away from any major danger. Um, seems something has already wounded the beast in the past. Maybe that's what drove it from its natural home. What's brought it here is fear.
Do I see any weak points in any of the walls or any of the buildings that are nearby that I can
Um,
kind of? push it towards maybe?
Yeah, one of the buildings seems to be teetering on the edge of collapse. It's already been half of it's been blown out and scorched by fire. It's barely keeping its roof over its head.
Okay. Then I'll direct the group to continue pressing forward and hopefully push back the Kerberos into that building, um, and see if we can try and bring the building down, or at
Okay.
least force it to stop, using magic and attacking us with magic with such a close building nearby.
Okay. Um, Give me might willpower to attempt to drive this beast back. It'll be normal difficulty again.
Okay. I'm gonna fail everything.
The option stands. You can accept your failure, or you may use a Fabula point.
hmm Um. Oh man, how many Fabula? I don't have a lot of Fabula points right now, so I'm gonna.
This is fair, but they are a resource to be used and gained.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna go ahead and use another one of those Fabula points to try and will this beast into this corner.
Okay. Yeah, you order the beast to be pushed back. You point towards a wall that might be just enough to either force the beast to retreat or keeps you captured enough long enough for a true strike to be brought down and wounded. And so you push forward, your own troops dashing to and fro, doing their best to keep themselves safe. Artan has finally made her way to Meek's crumpled body. She doing her best to heal, but you can see is a struggle through tears and pain and rage. The beast steps back again and again. Then you finally notice the building you're pushing the Kerberos back towards is not empty. A family resides inside, a mother huddling over her children. Uh, some elderly man is pressed up against a wall. They're scared. They have nowhere to go. But if you don't get this beast contained now, you might not get to before it does more damage.
Mhm. Okay. Um. Hmm.
You do
How
note,
do I want to deal with this situation? Oh, go ahead.
you do note, none of these people are viable for the tithe. Their loss means little to Count Driffle.
hmm Yeah, Proxia would still care about that, like care about the people more than the tithe. But there's also, if we fail our job, then we lose our heads too. So it's a lose-lose situation everywhere. Um, uh, I try to instruct the family um, to try and get out of the building. I just sort of yell at them to get out of the way, uh, and I try to direct them past the monster as we're pushing forward.
He glances at you as you begin barking orders, not at the troops, but at civilians. He looks to where you're looking and notices the family finally. He stops and stares at the beast that is now resting in front of the building. The soldiers continue to press forward with their spears, not receiving orders to stop. He looks at you, looks back at the family. The look in Vahi's eyes is one of sadness, understanding, but also disappointment. As the Kerberos is pushed into the building, it notices its surroundings are closed and walled off. It begins a frenzy. The heads spew their magic breaths. Ice streaks across the ground in front of the soldiers, forming a small wall. The fire scorches the opposite direction, burning out through the open side of the building, scorching one of the soldiers in the side and forcing them to back off. And finally, a black miasma spews center head, hiding creature in its own smog. You can see the last look of panic in the family's eyes as they never understood or heard your words. They simply saw the fear of a beast being pushed over them, the pain and agony of the death cloud as it coats their bodies. You lose sight of them, but you know that there is never any saving them. As the beast thrashes its tail impacts into the last of stable walls, cracks and crumbles, and the roof falls on top of the Kerberos. You hear it whine and howl as dust and dirt is kicked up. The movement stops. You can barely see through the rising and settling dust. It's quiet. The soldiers around you are the only thing you hear, gasping, panting. Cartan has dashed over to the soldier who was lit ablaze. She's applying healing magic once again. You can see Meek's body is covered in a small blanket that covers simply the upper half of his frame. Vahi coughs and walks over to you. He looks at you. Sister, what? Did we kill those people? Could we not have driven it somewhere else? You saw them. I could have saved them. Jan could have dashed.
I put my hand on his shoulder and I nod at him in understanding that he's having a bad time here. And this is a bad situation. And I just say, some blood we can't wash off of our hands, but there are more people here that we have to rescue, and we don't have time to worry about the people that we cannot save right now. And then I start, I kind of hold him where he's at, and then I start giving some orders to some of the other people around that we need to quickly assess the rest of these buildings and get more people out of them before any more buildings collapse, and get all of the villagers kind of assessed and assess the damage and who needs help and healing as well.
The soldiers get to work organizing as best they can to get people gathered up and moving. The town becomes noisy again as orders are barked and people are not necessarily dragged from homes but brought out into the street where they can be counted and seen if anyone needs medical attention. Most are superficial. Anyone that the Kerberos actually attacked, it did a thorough job of killing. A few scars and scratches, injuries from flying rubble or falling dish here or there. Everyone else is fairly unharmed. There's maybe 50 people here, between women, children, men, elderly. It's not a lot. An old woman in what you can consider fine regalia for the Salt Flats steps forward, introduces herself as the village elder. Yeah. I am Viola. I am elder of this village. It is with great thanks that I greet you, as you have saved my family and the friends and people of this village. But we had not yet sent out a missive of help before before that beastkin arrived. I can only assume you are here on other duties.
Well, Viola, this is not the way that I had hoped to arrive to town. But I'm glad we took the more direct route um, to get here a little bit faster. Um, I unfortunately cannot say that we are here for leisure. We are here on the orders of Count Folk to acquire your tithing. But for now, I would like to make sure that everything's kind of in order and we can help out as much as possible here before we talk business.
Um, Yola looks at you and looks around. Um, I'm not sure we are able to give a tithe this rotation. Before the beast attacks, we would have been fine, but at this point, we will need the funds to rebuild, and the food it tore through the storehouse not long ago. We will need to trade with nearby towns and villages to get through our winter.
Yeah, unfortunately. I just kind of look around at the town and kind of the mess of the magic that's made a mess of the destroyed areas and everything. Um uh and I kind of continue to assess the situation. And then I ask, do you recognize this beast? Has it been through this way before? Do you know what direction this came from?
I have not seen a Kerberos of this size near a village in a long time. The last of them that roamed the edges of the salt flats were driven towards the waters a generation ago. Not since I was a small girl have I even heard tales of them. To think that it would wander so closely to the mainland is worrying. We have few warriors amongst us. Uh, I know not why the beast would be here outside of a potential greater predator or, or a displacement from the dwellings of man, but as far as I know, no new villages have arisen to the north or west.
Yeah, it's not on my list, that's for sure. It's not on my pathway here. So you never know what's up that way these days, but it definitely seemed like it was injured, and I doubt anyone here in the village could have injured it as much as it had been. Um, so it does seem like it's fled here. I worry that that there may be more monsters coming this direction for similar reasons. On our way here, we were being tracked by something else, and there are a lot of things that that just don't quite add up. So I've also not really seen one of these in person before. I've only heard of them, so it was quite a shock to find one in the middle of your village. Uh, I'm not quite sure exactly how we're going to deal with the situation of your tithe, though. Um, you know the count is not a lenient man, and we do have our orders, so I may have to look into an alternative way that you might be able to provide us something small, and then maybe we can help you with some of the tasks here before we travel to our next destination.
Leopold steps forward. Ma'am, I have notated and uh, jotted down a few of the younger are within the age range of tithing. Specifically, those three young boys there and that young girl. Uh, we also have the means to test for any magical aptitude if needed.
And just sort of nod, since this has become more frequent the more that we travel and collect these tithes. And I just kind of sigh, and I tell Viola that we'll come back and speak with her after we kind of assess the needs of everyone else while we're going through and helping clean up the magic and debris and all of that.
Okay. Um, so you are choosing to take time to clean up.
Yeah, take a little bit of time. I mean, we were going to be here for a short time anyway, so using that time to try and assist as needed.
You do know that
Um,
assisting in this would be would delay your ability to get to Ambershire and Limemire, which would make your overall tithe uh, collection late.
mhm. Yeah, I think the decision here would probably be to continue assisting a little bit,
Okay.
and then yeah, continue with it late, because at least then we can be like, oh well, we had to fight this predator, and that was what was the delay, and here we still have a payment, so we have to decide what the payment is. But Proxia would not be enthusiastic about trying to make that decision. She'll still try to look for ways to lessen the burden on the town,
Yeah.
even more so after this situation. So although she has to make a lot of difficult decisions for all of these things, she's not gonna. She'll make everyone else wait while she makes those decisions, because especially because she's still younger and everything as well at this time.
Yeah. Yeah, you take a bit of time to help clear rubble and dig out anyone who might have been buried underneath anything. Pull people from, general rescue work and safety. You do manage to get a glimpse of the food and supply storage. It is ruined. You can see that the uh, black poisonous smog of the beast has been traced over the little grains and food that they have built up. It is rotted and dead, and at best lethal to take in.
For the beast itself, is it possible to remove one of its heads to take with us?
It will need to be unburied, but you can see if potentially carving a head as proof.
Yeah, I'd like to do that.
Okay. You begin.
If we have this mechanical Chemtech uh, uh, vehicle, then may as well use it.
Okay. Are you going to help with clearing rubble?
Yeah, Proxia would help.
Okay.
There's not a whole lot of people here to help, so she would also do what she could while keeping everyone directed. So she's not doing quite as much as everyone else is, but she would also be helping where she can.
You begin to move rock and stone and
To the bone, some might say.
Yeah.
you begin to move rubble to the side and out of the way. You pick up a stone and underneath it you see the glint, fiery red eye. It turns to look at you. Beneath your feet, the rubble shifts and churns. You hear the low growl as the Kerberos wakes from unconsciousness. In a moment, it jolts to its feet, throwing you, rubble, soldier, and villager aside, howling a vicious, loud howl. You can see it is injured, wounded, but it is furious. What do you do?
I would well, since I'm just right there with it, I would immediately attempt to try and attack it where it's wounded.
Okay. Give me another might dex. Or give me a weapon roll. You probably have a sword at this point.
Yeah. I don't have a sword on my character sheet. What would you like me to do for that?
Oh, no, go ahead and use your chain whip.
Okay.
I assume you are equipped with your chain whip at this point in time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I should still probably use something very similar.
All right. You swing out with your chain whip. It strikes true once, twice, 3 times, leaving flicks of blood and streaks of red across the ground and the monster's flesh, but its fury does not stop it. You feel before you hear static. The hairs on the back of your head stand up. In the distance, you hear the loud bellow, something roar, something large, something massive in size. For the clouds above your head swirl, darken, and a streak of blinding light crashes down into the ground, striking through the Kerberos. Creature is blown back, its body marred and broken, its spine charred, a sickening, scorched black. You can smell burning ozone. Then you hear and see large, bright, its fur tingling with electricity, its mane a glistening gold, like lightning. You hear someone in the crowd whisper, "It's lion." The large creature, twice the size of the Kerberos, slams its paw down on top of the creature. You hear with a sickening crack 3 necks, a single foot. The Kerberos' magic fizzles and fades. Its heads droop low, blood running onto the streets of the town. With another roar, the Blitz Lion bellows into the sky. Clouds slowly clear once again. The creature looks around, its frame towering over building. Its eyes catch yours. No words are shared. No sound is made. But you feel something in this creature. Its eyes betray a look of protection. This is a guardian. Something that has roamed these lands far before man or beast ever did. It lowers its head to the Kerberos' broken body, taking it into its maw, begins to drag it from the village. For long, it's gone. Disappeared into the shifting winds of the salt flats. You can hear in the distance once again a crackle and a roar. Bit of time passes on. The people have regained themselves, gathered up those who were injured or capable of continuing to stand on their own 2 feet. In total, from what you could tell, 100 people used to live in Swiftmouth. In total, those are still breathing, including the injured. About 74. The rest are dead or missing, buried beneath rubble unmovable. The village elder walks towards you. He looks at you. She's tired and sad. Please, if you could find it in your heart, ma'am. We will pay the tithe twice over on the next cycle. We can cover the costs next time. We'll send a missive to your count. Tell him that we refused you. See Vahi in the distance. He's tending to some of the wounded. He glances towards you. Leopold stands next to you. Next to you. Jan beside him. Their weapons are drawn. What do you do?
I look at the elder. I look at Viola, and I just sort of shake my head at her. And it's like I respond. I'm like, I know that you won't be able to pay twice the tithe, and I know that if we tell the count that you've refused to pay, you'll have to deal with far worse than us, and far worse than what you've already dealt with today. Because things have been been tighter and stricter, and there is very little room for disobedience at this time. I think the best option for us here at this time is for us to take our alternate tithe instead of the money or food and continue on to the next village. It's the most likely way for you to be able to continue to rebuild here. Otherwise, the cost that you'll have to pay will be significantly higher than what you have to pay today.
Jan steps forward, a low growl in his voice.
Ma'am, give the order.
I look at him, I look at the townspeople, I look at the rubble around us and the streaks of where the monster was removed from the town and carted off. And I nod at him and I say, "Take the children."
Jan nods. You can see sorrow in his eyes, but understanding as he steps forward, sword in hand. Viola lunges towards Leopold as Leopold takes a foot forward and, "Please, no, leave them, they are our future." Leopold shoves her aside. A father steps in front of Jan, attempting to keep his boy with him. Jan cuts him down. The children are taken. They are dragged to the cart. They are thrown in. The people half silent, the other half yelling obscenities, crying, begging. Their cries fall on deaf ears. Vahi, looking at you, closes his eyes and looks away.
I look over to Vahi, and I walk a little bit closer, and I tell him to record everyone's names, get everyone's names, their families, in his personal records, and I just kind of leave it at that. I'd say that it's probably something we've done previously, once or twice in these situations, and so I just tell him to get as much information as possible, and then to a little bit louder, I tell him to make sure everything's in order, and I just walk back to the main group.
Vahi looks at you. You can see there is anger in his eyes. He opens his mouth to retort, to question, to refuse. But out comes a sigh. The strength in his shoulders slumps and wanes away. Stands up and the simple, "Yes, ma'am." He pulls out the documentations, begins going around asking families names, maiden names, families, how long they've lived in the land, how old their children are. The children are tested for magical aptitude. The young girl is in fact a wizard, adept in ice and water as far as the devices can read. And so you finish the collection of tithe. The troops are gathered around, load up to depart from Swiftmouth. Meek's body is brought on board and laid in the back. You can see his broken frame beneath the cloth that covers him. You'll probably miss the bread he would bring in the mornings. His silly laughs, his stupid jokes. You knew that you would lose soldiers in the line of duty. It's only natural. But maybe this one could have been prevented. Maybe the next. I think that's a good place to end this backstory.
Well, damn.
And
So had
everyone
to
lived
steal the
happily
children.
ever after.
Well then.
Yeah, I did say yours might be unfortunately
Mhm.
darker than the rest with your
Yeah.
backstory.
hmm Yeah. It's pretty reasonable, I think.
Is it bad that my brain's going, hey, we were right. She is part Fae. Look at her stealing children. Just like the rest of
Steal the
them.
kids.
So,
Honorary Faye. Congrats.
Where do they go? I don't know. Put them in a funny car and we're gonna drive to the next town. Definitely not steal more children. It's fine.
right.
It's fine. Just get a big old sack and congrats. You could be this world's Krampus. There you go.
Ooh, actually, would you want to continue? Would you want to continue just a little longer?
Oh no.
Sure. We could, yeah. Because I do have to be done by 9, but
Mm-hmm.
I do have a little bit of time.
Yeah, I just want to Proxiya awaken. And it's bright early morning, sometime mid-spring. You find yourself in a cozy little campsite. The peaceful sound of trees and the feeling of nature surrounds you. You close your eyes and you can feel Zeus. He's asleep. He's resting peacefully. It's not often he finds such peace. You can hear the loud rumbling of Lord Borrington's snout as he snores and rolls over. Ashling stands awake over a long dead fire. Your memories have plagued you this night, Proxia. Thinking back on that day, Fahi left the guard shortly after. Your relationship with your brother was never quite the same. Ashling, you see Proxia rise from a rather disturbed sleep.
You okay, Proxia?
Just memories of the past.
Past always has a way of.
Sometimes. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say the past always has a way of haunting.
Yes, it does. Especially when the same villains that plagued your past are the ones that plague your present and your future. And I look over at Zeus and I just kind of um, I don't really say anything, but I like a weight kind of leaves my shoulders and I kind of relax a little bit and I just kind of say like things are better and I feel like I'm on the right path now, but some things you just can't really get away from.
No, but I promise he won't plague your future.
I really hope so.
Zeus stirs and a low mechanical yawn exits his mouth. Borington, you're awoken by the sudden jolt of magical life that stirs around you from Zeus's simple presence. You are sad, Proxia. Zeus turns towards you. He's fully formed right now in his size. Probably about story and a half tall, maybe a little bigger. Was it another memory, ma'am?
I nod and I just kind of walk over to where he's at and kind of lean against one of his legs. And it's just like, yeah, just more memories of the past. Things that can't be changed now, but every day we try to do better.
What we were and what we are do not need to be the same thing. We can grow. You can change.
You're absolutely right, Zeus.
Orrington, looking at Proxia and Zeus, you can and always have been able to see Zeus. Not this frame, this monstrosity of a machine that was made, but his core. What he was, what he is. Proxia leans against a massive, large lion, its magical energy glistening in a golden yellow. Sparks flicker from his massive, magical presence. Even in the Fey court, these creatures are treated with reverence, though they are not of those places. Their connection with the world far outgrows many other things. The Blitz Lion, caged and locked away.
I would just give like a small nod towards the two of them because even despite the circumstances, it is wonderful to see a mortal and such a majestic beast able to bond even through such an unfortunate matter. But hey, you know.
There. Zeus.
Proxiya just kind of nods back.
Zeus tilts his head towards you. He doesn't understand what you are, Orrington. He also understands you're of magical nature, but he doesn't have the knowledge to grasp where you might come from. Right. We came here to hunt. We should be quick about it. I'm sure your companion, Misora, would like something to cook this morning.
Let's find her something new. Maybe we can find something that she hasn't cooked before.
Orrington, Ashling, Proxiya, and Zeus, alongside Horus and Farnir, of course. You venture off into the woods, sun just barely breaking over the hills, reflecting off the morning dew. It is to be a hunt, not one of people, not one of monsters. One with friends, one with those close to you. You venture into bright morning day in a glorious new future.
The one who finds the sweetest strawberry wins.
And with that, we'll end today's episode.
Okay. Well then. I really enjoy these side stories. I think this is a really fun way to kind of delve deeper into either past things or side things and other relationships and everything. You know, I think everyone here kind of knows, but chat doesn't know. Just before this is when I invented most of my characters' family. So
Yes.
a couple hours ago, suddenly Proxia has 6 siblings and they are all brothers, and she now has parents. We didn't really have those before.
Yeah.
So it
What is
really
this parent you speak of?
Yeah, no, I definitely spent the better part of my morning designing 8 brand new NPCs with chronological understanding of what they are, where they sit places, and giving them all backstories and character.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm very, very
No way.
appreciative of it.
No, it's fun. I enjoy doing it, so I have no issue with it.
My headcanon for this entire thing was like, okay, so oh my goodness, what was her name? The healer of the party?
Carton.
Yeah, Carton. My whole like headcanon is that my brother has a crush on her, and so my entire thing is like, okay, so they're off married in a tiny little village somewhere.
Okay.
That's what I've decided. Throughout all of that, I was like, she's like, you know, very, very forward thinking, and he's less assertive. So think that that's a
I-
good match.
I,
Romance on the battlefield.
I like how your headcanon is I've traumatized my brother. I need to make him happy now.
Yeah. He's gonna be off angry somewhere, upset with me forever, but that's okay because he has a wife that's equally angry at me.
Fair. Well, if that is what you think, that is how it is. Welcome to
Yep.
Fabula Ultima.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea, a good little landing point. And
Okay. Eventually off in the Great
ultimately,
Plains, maybe Shimmerside, or even down all the way down to Clearview. Your brother and Carten have a small bit of land and have moved away from Jordan entirely.
yep, I think that's a good idea. I'd also say that like probably since before Proxia left or the 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 no, I'm just like forgetting everything here, but basically since she left the military spontaneously, and of course for no faults, just she just wanted to leave. That's fine, don't worry about it. um but I like to think that she probably hasn't really had any contact with any of her family in a very, very long time, and that they also don't really know anything about what's going on with her or what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And so there might be some biases since she was part of these these tithings and these uh, a lot of the more negative side of things with counterfolk. But um, I like to think that there's some stuff there. So if we ever do go into those places, we could potentially run into someone or something like that. It gives us a little bit of extra people on the board with names, I guess, that
Yeah.
we can kind of interact with a little bit more.
There's a reason why I gave names to people and things. You can run into them in the future,
Mm-hmm.
or at least see where they've left their last marks.
Mm-hmm.
So, today, Proxiya, you will still gain experience. Um,
Okay.
every time I do one of these, I will provide the player in the story the experience. Um, I will determine how I want to balance this out with the rest of the party, or if I'm just gonna simply go down the line and eventually each of you will get the same experience. So,
Mm-hmm.
um,
Okay.
On a similar note, I realized the reason why I wasn't level 9 is I missed a thing, missed a session.
mm-hmm.
Do you still want me to level up? And if not, I need to revert.
If you've already done it, it's fine. I'm unbothered.
Okay.
Yeah. XP is provided to those who do participate in the session.
I can then just not level up. That's fine. I can revert it.
If you've already done it, that's fine. I am unbothered. I'm always on the debate of how I feel about that general system anyways. So
Mm-hmm.
leave it be. If you did it, I'm unworried.
For leveling up, since we're talking about it, is there anything specific I need to do when leveling up? Or is it mostly automatic for me? Because I don't like have spells or anything. I'm not really sure if there's anything else I should adjust to it.
You still level up your classes and you
Mm-hmm.
gain levels and skills.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, should be going through and properly applying actual level ups to your different skills. So yeah, I can see you are now level 10, but you've put no levels in any of your skills.
I have not. No, I haven't.
Yeah, so every time you level up, you get a point that you put into a class. That class then gets a skill point to spend on one of your skills and level those
Oh,
up.
I see.
Which
Okay. And that's
then,
what that 5 is?
yes, that is what the
Okay.
5
That
is.
explains a lot.
So you currently have 5 skill points to spend.
Okay. And then I just spend them on the skills that I already have here.
Or getting new ones within your class, depending on how it is. You should look through
Okay.
your the rule books for your class and read your skills and see if there's anything else you want. I know your vehicle gets better based on your skill level.
Also, one of the things I just realized is I'm still considered weak from the last session. Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's still highlighted. I didn't realize that because it's really hard to see that.
Oh,
And I'm like,
yeah,
no wonder I was missing all my skill checks.
yeah.
Like my legs are broken. No wonder I have terrible dexterity right now.
Yeah.
That's
That'll
amazing.
do it.
Okay. And
Well,
I will make sure I'm properly leveled up and everything for the next session then.
huh? Oh yeah, like resourceful. You recover skill level inventory points after each travel roll. Currently it's skill level 1, but 2, you get 2 every travel roll. Good.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I probably should put some points into those things for sure. That explains a lot. I was like, huh, I'm leveled up, but am I supposed to do anything? And then I immediately forget afterwards because it's right at the end of the session. So I'm just like, I don't know, I'll ask later, and then I forget.
Fair. Oh yeah. Go through that for sure. Get that done. If you have any questions, feel free to message me and whatnot, and we'll get it all worked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I know it's been a shorter session. I'm assuming most of these side stories will be shorter sessions.
Yeah.
Kind of the nature of having less people. Obviously this one was a little spur of the moment. This was our test for these to see if I wanted to do them. B, if you guys even found them interesting in the slightest.
Answer is yes.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I'm having a really great time.
That's good. I'm glad it is enjoyable. I enjoy making these people for you guys to interact with and build your world around. So yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your nights with whatever it is you're doing. I will set you free, and I will go ahead and get on out of here myself.
Very well. Everybody have a lovely day. Or night, I guess.
Have a wonderful
And have fun,
night.
Planchette.
Yeah, thank you.
Enjoy the rest of
And
your
thank
evenings.
you for this. Yeah. Have a great night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, chat. It has been an absolute blast. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Lady Zuina, thank you very much for the raid, by the way. Apologize, I am not as chatty to raiders and stuff during my RPG nights. I am entirely focused on telling the story and stuff for the players. But I really, really do appreciate Zui and her entire community coming over here. Thank you so much. I am going to be finishing up here shortly. I will probably be back to streaming in like a little bit. I do want to do some games and stuff tonight. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name's Hippie. I'm a variety caster here on Twitch. I do stream 5 days a week. You'll find me here playing a wide variety of games, as well as running TTRPGs here on Twitch. YouTube, you will find most of the content here is TTRPG related. I am a professional game master, so this is what I do as my job. I love building these worlds and adventures for people, and I'd love to do it even more. So, as for the YouTube side, what is it? Like, subscribe, leave a comment or whatever that is. And as for Twitch, here's the links for you guys: Discord, Twitter, sublink, merch links, all that shenanigans. Give it a look, check it out. Thank you so much for being awesome. Sadly, the tavern doors will be closing for a little bit. So until later tonight, finish drinks, ladies and gentlemen. And until next time, bye-bye.